Hello, thank you for joining. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up an environment to run Python program. So when you start writing computer programs using Python language, you need an environment to run. You could run Python program either on a website, right? Or you could run it on a computer. So there are some websites. There's a website that I found for those who want to just get started ahead or get started with right away. You can try running a simple programs on this website. But most of the professionals, use something called Visual Studio Code, and they download it to their computers. We'll talk about that as well. But let me begin with trying to run it on a website, right? So you can go to a website called onlinegdb.com. If you go there, it will take you to this web page. Here you need to select a language called Python. You can use this to run a code in any one of these languages. So let's say I select Python 3, and this is your simple one-line code. All it does is hello world. Right? So once you type the code that you want to run, you hit the run button and it displays hello world here. So this is again a tool, a website where you can type your simple Python code and then run it right away, and you see the output over here. So that's one way to do it. Other way is to download a software, and the other one is to run the program on your computer using a Visual Studio Code. So this Visual Studio Code is available from Microsoft. You can download that. So before you download the Visual Studio Code, we need to download the Python itself. Okay, we need to download the Python itself. So you can go to Python, and then you can click on the download button here, the latest version 3.1. And before you install it, go to Google and then type these instructions here, instructions to download Python. And it gives you a detailed instructions, right? So download Python, go to Python, official Python website, python.org, and that is the website. And click on the download Python button, select the latest version. So there you go. I go to this website, Python, and click on the download, click on the Python here, latest version. Right. And here, if I have a Windows computer, then I would select 64-bit. That's 64-bit version. It is right. Most of the computers now have 64 bits, so you can use Windows for PCs. You can use that. If you have a Mac OS, you can try to download on this. So once you download, you need to download and double click on it and install it. And while you're installing it, it asks you this question: add Python to the path. It's very important you do that. You have to check that box to add Python to your system's path variable. This makes it easier to run the Python from command prompt. And you can complete the initialization. Once you complete the initialization, you need to verify that the Python has been installed by going over here, typing cmd, and it opens this window, and then you type this command python -v. It tells you what version of Python it's been installed, right? If you do this and if it gives you some error or something, if it says that it doesn't know this command, then Python has not been, either it's not been installed or it's not been added to the path. And that's the first step here, is to install Python. Right? How do you install Python? You go to this site here, you go to downloads, and then you download it here and double click on it and install. So again, that's the first step. The second step is download Visual Studio from this website here. So I have gone here, that's a Visual Studio download. So again, this is a Visual Studio from Microsoft. And if you go here, you can download it for Windows and Mac OS, all of that. So you download and install Visual Studio from this particular website. So you need two things here. You need to download the Python. How do you download the Python? You go to this website. You go to this website, download the Python. That's step number one. So you go to this website, download the Python, step number one. Step number two is download the Visual Studio, right? You go to this website here, codevisualstudio.com download, and you can download either for Windows or for Mac OS. One thing that you should not forget is when you are installing Python, make sure you check this box, right? Add Python to path. Okay, so those are the simple things that you need to do to get going on Python. And there are tons of videos out there on YouTube. Just for example, if you go YouTube how to install Visual VS Code and run Python program, there are a bunch of videos, 6 minutes, 10-minute video that'll walk you through. You can watch those as well. So we'll continue in the next video. We'll talk about the Python itself, what is a programming language, all of that. Thank you.